Hello everybody and welcome to another Marvel Legends review. In today's video we're taking a look at the 2-pack Legends series Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 StarLord aka Peter Quill and Marvel's Ego. Take a look at the side of the box. We've got Kurt Russell there looking very handsome indeed. Bit of an intergalactic background going on. Chris Pratt on the side there doing a very nice stare, and on the back of the box we have them posed and a small bio, and here we have them out of the package. And I especially love Ego. I mean, who doesn't want a Kurt Russell action figure? Hasbro have done a pretty darn good sculpt with these. I personally feel that their Movieverse figures, the sculpts are getting better and better as time goes on. The only exception really being the 2-pack Thor with Valkyrie. I don't think that his face sculpt is as good as the Thor that we get in the Ragnarok wave. StarLord, on the other hand, it's still not quite a Chris Pratt look on there, but it's definitely the best StarLord head sculpt that we've had. They've continued to get better and better. I think they've done a better job with the clothes. Yes, we've seen this exact same uniform from him before, but they've shaded it slightly better. I think they've kind of met in the middle. He's not too dark, not too light. I think they've got the tone pretty much spot on, and I mean, that Ego is just amazing. I mean, Chris Pratt's sculpt, it still isn't quite there, but they're definitely the most realistic eyes that are done for him. It's a good shading around the beard and stubble. Side profile, it's pretty good. You know, that's not really a bad likeness at all. It does have this kind of sweaty sheen over the top. Not sure I'm 100% comfortable with how that comes across. Something about that sheen is a little bit off-putting. The hair sculpt, it's not too bad. It's all kind of one colour, but again, it's definitely not the worst hair I've seen. A little bit spaghetti-like, but not too shabby at all. Nice detailing there on the t-shirt, and of course we do get his Walkman, which we have seen before. It does tend to pop off as well. It doesn't really stay on there very well, but I really love the leather jacket. The seams are really good. Nice detailing all the way throughout there. It's got a nice kind of prickly texture to it, and then going down his pants, again done in the nice dark brown. I love how the light's kind of reflecting off these as well. It does have this reflective sheen on it, and it reminds me very much of some 80s style leather pants. And then we get the grey boots. Again, nothing new. We've seen all of these before, but I am very happy with the paint scheme, and this is my first StarLord figure, and personally I think I've got the better of the selection. Yes, the guns don't have the gold sections painted on like we get with some of the other versions, but all in all they look pretty darn good, and they do attach on to his hips. And we do get an alternative head sculpt as well. We get the helmeted head. There we go. Again, that's a nice sculpt. We've kind of got a speckled black on here, some gold highlights. The hair is a slightly different sculpt to what we get on the normal head. Slightly different tone as well. The quiff is very similar, but yeah, I do like this version of the head. Again, they have applied less paint, but sometimes less is more. Articulation wise, the head can look down, and we can look up, we can look left and right, and we can tilt side, that looks wrong, to side. The shoulders, lovely cut on that sleeve, no hindrance there whatsoever. Got a ratcheted joint out to the side, upper bicep rotation, double jointed bend on the elbow. We have rotation and a pivot on the wrist. Just looking underneath the jacket here, we do have an abdominal crunch. You can go this far forwards and to the back. Legs don't really come back, but they do come quite nicely forwards, out to the side, hindered by this tab for the guns. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, nice range on those there, and we get up and down on that ankle as well as a nice ankle rocker. Now Ego is my favourite of the bunch. It's not bad, you know, that's not a bad likeness for Kurt Russell. Again, we've got that kind of sheen over the face, which I'm not entirely sure about. Really nice sculpt there on the beard. I did note that on Shardamus Prime's video there was a very strong seam on his. I don't think it's come out quite as intense on my one. The hair, nicely detailed. Good shading on there. Looks a little bit chubby in the face, I think, in his very kind of Star Wars-esque get-up. Lovely brown wash over the top there as well. I believe this is all a unique sculpt. Nice detailing, really good paint applications. I'm not entirely sure I like what they did, changing Peter's parentage, but I can see why they did it. The kind of blending two characters from the comic books into one, and it kind of worked. He makes a good pupper. Wonder if we'll get a David Hasselhoff figure. Again, he's wearing these nice brown slacks with the nice little highlights in amongst all of the folds. Nice kind of cowboy-esque boots there. Love this kind of belt thing he's got going on as well. Look at the back. Again, strap along there. There's Kurt Russell's butt. And much like Peter, we get an alternative head sculpt for Ego. This is the more stern of the two heads. This is kind of more happy-go-lucky. This is my favourite head of the two. Again, very human-like features on there, but he's got that kind of sweaty sheen over the top as well. A little bit of paint missing from that part of his beard. Nice hair sculpted on there as well. Not too spaghetti-like, although again, slightly different shading to the opposite head. Love the paint that goes down through the back of his scarf and cloak. It's got a really nice silver kind of sheen to it, and this is nice and tatty and worn on the base. But yep, definitely my favourite of the sculpts. Not a fan of what they did with the hands. Don't really feel the need for him to have a kind of trigger finger hand, especially with no kind of laser beams or any sort of energy bursts included in the pack. The open palm, I can see he's kind of opening out the hand there, extending it to StarLord, but the trigger finger, no, that I don't agree with. Articulation wise, the head can look up and down. Really nice downwards motion there, that I like. Tilt side to side, and we go left and right. The shoulders can come out to the side, down, all the way around. A little bit of hindrance there from this scarf section. Upper bicep rotation, double jointed bend, rotation on the wrist, and a pivot on either hand. Really nice diaphragm joint Look at that, nice extension there. Detail goes quite far up, not as far as I would like that to have been all the way up the side there, but again, very happy with the bend forwards and the bend backwards. There is no waist articulation. We've got all of the movement in the diaphragm as opposed to the waist. We do have this far forwards on the legs, this far backwards, out to the side, upper thigh rotation, double jointed bend on that knee joint, and again the ankles can go forwards and backwards and pivot side to side. You can remove the cloak if you see fit, but personally I really do think it helps no end in kind of making this figure what he is. And my personal preference for posing him would be to kind of open in his hand, gesturing to Peter, with his hand kind of gripping on the belt here. But when you have the hand gripping on the belt, I really don't like how the cut sits on that upper bicep, which just doesn't look very natural. And here we have them alongside some of the other figures from the movieverse. I do like that Kurt Russell is a smidge smaller than StarLord. StarLord stands around 6.5 inches and Ego's just over 6. I would have liked some form of energy burst to be included, just because he kind of brings all of that energy out of the planet. He is the planet, so maybe I thought he was going to be slightly taller, or maybe slightly more to him, more involved. But overall, it's a very good standalone figure. It just doesn't embody the power that Ego actually has. Just as a comparison, we have Hela here. That's one of my favourite of the movieverse sculpts. Absolutely stunning female body there. And Loki, again, really good use of that kind of image capture and print onto the sculpts. That's how it should be done. They're very close with both Chris Pratt and Kurt Russell, and I honestly cannot wait to see what else Marvel come out with. Hoping to get a hold of the Vision Scarlet Witch 2-pack. I really love how both of those figures look, and unfortunately I don't have any more Guardians figures at the moment. I will be getting some more in. I've done a nice exchange with a very kind gentleman, and I've got quite a few Legends en route to me, but I will still be needing Mantis, which will be nice to have alongside Ego, kind of master and slave, I guess. Once again, thanks to Robot Kingdom for making this review possible. If you found it useful, give it a big thumbs up, share, and of course subscribe. I've included a link just up here to the Marvel Legends playlist, and until next time, from myself and StarLord and Ego 2-pack, thanks for watching, goodbye.